Hey guys, welcome to my channel Miss Recap. The movie begins with a really gigantic lizard monster attacking the civilians in the city. This monster is so deadly that it usually shoots ice from its mouth, which killed a lot of people in the process. Superheroes like the Flash and Nightwing shows up to rescue the helpless citizens from the vicious monsters. And when all hope seems to be lost, a gigantic mech suit emerges out of nowhere and approaches the beast. Batman is revealed to be the one in control of the suit, and charges towards the monster to subdue it. 2 weeks earlier, before this incident occurred, we see Damian, the new Robin, who is so disappointed that he is not living up to Batman expectations. There is a popular footage online, where Damian was seen trying to capture Joker, but he was pushed off the building by the clown, but ended up being saved by Batman. Alfred, Batman's assistant, tries comforting him by saying the Joker has been the greatest enemy Batman has ever faced, and he shouldn't be upset that he found himself at a disadvantage in his first encounter with him. But Damian wishes to speak to someone who has undergone the Robin training. Batman suddenly arrives as Damian was making researches about Batman enemies, and he comes across a villain he doesn't know about. Batman says his name is Penguin, a dangerous villain who was banished away from Gotham to a really cold area called the Arctic. Penguin is in misery over losing everything he owns, just because of Batman, and only has just a friend whom he calls Buzz, known to be a penguin who gets to understand what he is going through. Another person is revealed to be staying with him in that cave called Dr. Freeze, who isolated himself far away from the city because of his hatred towards the humans. Dr. Freeze is really furious when he saw some humans around his ice cave drilling oils, but appears to be really ready to teach them a lesson. He shows Penguin his new invention, which has the ability to turn any living creature into giants. He turns an insect into a gigantic monster, and uses it to attack those oil drillers on his command. But these drillers reveal to have purchased a kind of laser weapon from the Wayne industry, and uses it to counter the attack by turning the insect back to its normal size. They make fun of Dr. Freeze, who promises to create a more bigger monster that will eradicate them all. Talking of getting better monsters that can help to wipe out the human race, Penguin tells Dr. Freeze that he knows where to find them, but all they have to do is to return to Gotham. Dr. Freeze provided a submarine, and these two villains began that evil mission. Alfred reminds Bruce Wayne concerning today being the new technology showcase at Wayne's Enterprise. Wayne Enterprise is well known in the city for producing drilling machines for mining resources and other use. Bruce and Damian remove their superhero attire and puts on their suit to attend the technology showcase, where the head of Wayne Enterprise Research and Development Department called Dr. Langstrom showcases a new invention, which is a single-operated drilling machine that is capable of melting rock in order to mine more easily than spending all day drilling. The attendants are so fascinated with this new technology, but Bruce Wayne's attention is taken away when he gets a phone call from his assistant Alfred, who informs him about intruders trying to break into the psychiatric prison in the city where deadly villains are held, called the Arkham Asylum. Green Arrow, who is known as Oliver Queen in his disguise, also attended the showcase, but upon seeing Batman going away, he senses trouble and follows him. An alarm is sounded concerning the invaders, and we see the prison securities with their weapons stationed at the prison entrance ready to fight. Unexpectedly, the intruders, who is revealed to be Dr. Freeze and Penguin, entered the prison from underground, and the security guards were being frozen by their weapon. Freeze and Penguin pass as dangerous metahumans in the prison like Two-Face, Mad Hatter, Cheetah, before choosing to only break out Bane, Killer Croc, and Clayface, who has the ability to shape-shift into anything he imagines. Penguin passes Joker, who appears to be so angry concerning their rejection to break him out as well. As the villains set out to escape the prison, they were suddenly attacked by Batman, Green Arrow, and Robin. Clayface manages to pull off a distraction by shape-shifting into a detective, making Dr. Freeze to use the chance to escape with his group underground. Robin still keeps blaming himself for being the reason for their escape, but Green Arrow assures him that he's still a learner. At the secret Batcave, Batman is left wondering why Penguin skipped the other villains just to only select Bane, Killer Croc, and Clay. This isn't a solid team, so why would Penguin select them? Even Bane and Killer Croc are known rivalry. Robin finds out that Penguin didn't select those guys for who they are but what they are made of. 3 of them have usually chemicals components like venom, for example, is the stuff that makes Bane strong. Clayface mud is what makes him transform into anything. And Chemo is made of super toxic sludge, and the strength of Croc constitution can also make him an ideal test subject. Batman sees a point in what Robin was saying, because Dr. Freeze is a scientist, and maybe there is a possibility that he is trying to enhance their powers or something. Batman was actually right, as Dr. Freeze placed them in a machine and uses it to extract Clayface shape-shifting mud, Chemo's toxic sludge, and Bane's venom. He mixed the components together, which he uses to create a kind of formula. He injected the formula inside Killer Croc, which transforms him into a gigantic, vicious, scary beast who emerges out of the ocean and produces a kind of ice from his mouth that began to destroy the whole city. Batman immediately shows up at the city with his Batmobile along with Robin, who is displeased at Batman for not letting him drive, so he can focus on developing the perfect plan for fighting Dr. Freeze. The Flash also shows up with a massive speed as always, but slips into a trash can when the gigantic Croc freezes the ground. He grabs Batman's car and flings it into the air, but Batman activated a mode that transforms his car into a jet, making Robin more impressed. Things became more scary when Chemo is also turned into a gigantic monster, and Dr. Freeze's plans became known to Batman, who is turning Gotham City into an ice world, because it appears that Freeze cannot survive an environment that isn't cold. That's why he always covers himself in a kind of suit whenever he is outside his ice cave. Other superheroes like Nightwing and Green Arrow are seen saving the citizens from dangers, while Detective Cold Gordon arrives with a huge number of police at the scene and opens fire at the monster, but it was all useless. After freezing the whole city, Dr. Freeze was finally able to remove his immortal, but little did he know that this is about to be his biggest mistake, because his allies Penguin is not to be trusted and underestimated. Dr. Freeze points his gun at Penguin, who knew he wanted to return to Gotham for one reason, which is to rule it, and now Dr. Freeze does rule the city. This already makes him his #1 enemy. But like I said, Penguin is not to be underestimated, as he has been plotting behind his back ever since. He had managed to steal some of Dr. Freeze's formula and use it to turn Bane and Clayface, who are on his side, into a gigantic monster, and Dr. Freeze is tossed away like a piece of shit. He sends the two monsters after Batman, but Bane instead poses his target on Killer Croc. These two were best buddies, but Killer Croc sold him out to the police. As a revenge, Bane wants to kill him. No wonder Dr. Freeze used the formula on only Killer Croc earlier, because whatever Penguin did, Clayface and Bane body cannot handle the formula. In a matter of urgency, Batman gives Robin the key to his Batmobile. He has a plan, but he wants Robin to try and keep Clayface from destroying the city until he gets back, and takes off using a bike. Batman goes to the Wayne Enterprises to visit a scientist, Langstrom, who has been working on project for him. Langstrom tells Batman it's not ready, but Batman insisted on taking the risk into testing it the product. Langstrom reveals a gigantic mech suit, which is the project Batman funded him to work on. Green Arrow, who also showed up, tells Batman that he is not the only billionaire, as he had also funded his own mech suit. Batman and Green Arrow both got inside their mech suit. Immediately, Batman goes to attack Croc and Bane on his own, and upon his orders, Green Arrow goes to deal with Chemo. Langstrom meets with Robin upon Batman's request to assist Robin in defeating Clayface. They both came up with a solution, which is about building a special laser cannon which can kill Clayface in just a blast. Flash and Nightwing shows up with equipment which can be used to make the cannon. Bane and Killer Croc unite together to fight Batman, but thanks to the gadgets in his mech suit, he is able to defeat Killer Croc and turns his full strength and power on Bane. Arrow is seen also engaging in a fight with Chemo. Arrow seems to be having a really hard time to take down this guy. Langstrom and Robin were finally able to complete the weapon used to kill Clayface, but when they puts it into test, it ends in disappointment as the weapon doesn't work. Dr. Freeze, racked by depression over his manipulation and betrayal by Penguin, meets with the heroes and apologizes for his wrongdoings. In order to clear out the mess he just made, he gave Langstrom a device which can help in perfecting their laser cannon, which they can use to kill Clayface. But of course, before this alliance could happen, Robin contacted Batman, asking if they can trust Dr. Freeze. Batman, knowing the villain now wants to make amends, gives Robin the permission on allowing him on the team. Batman, with his intelligence, is able to weaken Bane using his gadgets, and releases a very powerful punch which puts the villain to sleep. Arrow was defeated by Chemo, who destroyed his mech suit using his atomic slugs, but Batman arrives at the dying moment and punches Chemo repeatedly until he created an opening in his body, and Arrow immediately takes this great opportunity by climbing on a very high cliff. and uses his arrow with a bomb fused with it, and aims it inside the opening in his body, and they defeated it. With Free's help, the heroes was finally able to get the cannon to function, and they use his own Clayface, who still attacks them as the weapon wasn't affected at the monster. But after a while, Clayface was finally frozen and captured, but at the cost of Dr. Freeze badly injured due to the hot temperature. The movie ends as we see Penguin trying to make his escape, but was eventually caught by Batman, who handed him to the police along with the other monsters. Dr. Freeze willingly allows himself to be arrested, blaming himself for everything that happened in Gotham in the first place. Penguin is placed in the Arkham, where Joker gave him the beating of his life for abandoning him. The heroes separated and went back to their various cities, while Robin gets what he has been longing for a long time, as his idol, Batman, congratulates Robin on doing a good job. Later on, Clayface is revealed to be the only villain that was not arrested, and as he escapes into the suit. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notification so you can watch more videos like this.